Our first two competitors in the water, Ronnie.
He won the round of 32, Jordy Smith, a world title campaigner this season in a great position on the Jeep leaderboard in 4th spot. He's up against Soli Bailey, who is desperate to lock in.
An indicator, really. It gives you an idea of what's coming. Sometimes the swells do miss that top part of the reef and swing down, but here's Jordy Smith getting us started.
Yeah, diving into this one very early in the piece. Gets the alley-oop completion. Not a huge version of that turn, but he'll finish this right off on the inside. He's a J-Bay traditionalist. I've seen him stomp big airs out here before, but we had him here in the booth the other day. He said, I think this is a wave to basically keep your rail in the water and get it done on turns. But today the conditions are so conducive to moves like this. Nice alley-oop, gets that completion.
And a great way to start. Indicate where you're at and what you're willing to risk, especially on the first wave. We see the drone angle of that. As you said, it wasn't obviously the highest and most dramatic version as we see. See the mid-face line there. He stays in the middle of the wave, not going to the bottom of it, and just punts Jordy down the line.
Up once again. Just so silky smooth that you really got to pay attention to the effort that he throws into some of these bigger turns. Sometimes it's hidden in the style and the flow, but on that occasion he gets it wrong on the inside there. But Jordy looking for a quick start in this one. It's maybe going to give Soli a better chance against Jordy, but he is definitely going to have his work cut out. And personally, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this heat, Soli's going to be looking for a 2-wave total to get the lead.
Confidence and experience is the thing that he's got to develop and build.
Picking off one now. The rookie driving down the line. Plenty of speed to burn. Just a nice float to get back out in front of it here. We saw some great waves ridden during the warm-up session prior to the event getting underway. And Soli's found a nice one here. Digs into that turn. Climbs back up onto that white water. Needs a big major move on the inside to convert this into a solid number. Nice slide on the tail there, maintaining control nicely.
If you can get some points on the board early and start to build some pressure, that would be great. Flying down the line. There's he sort of got a little bit forward onto the front foot as he flew off that white water, built a lot of speed. Here's that patience we were talking about. Jeffreys Bay, you don't need to rush because you've got the time and the leg, and you don't need to force it. You've just got to wait for the right moments to unleash. This wave didn't really offer those moments to really get super radical. That relaxed approach, but was able to attack when he needed to. And some very unusual, I mean, when you think about this heat from Jordy, out of the blocks into an alley-oop, short wave, and then 2 falls on the waves following that on turns. So very interesting start.
Love it, Pete. Great little wrap-up of what we've got unfolding here today. Overlapping heats as we see Jordy up once again. The perfect 10-point barrel ride, but Jordy mixing up both, getting tubed and also throwing in turns. And he's up at the moment, live action. Jordy's still holding on to the lead here, trying to get rid of a 2.67. Probably already done that. Keeping on his feet. Great control falling out of the sky there. And looking for a big finish on the inside. And he likes the feel of it. Soli Bailey had a 5.07 earlier on, and Jordy celebrating that ride.
It's interesting on this wave too, where there's things you've seen in real time. Watch the replay and they've appeared better. Oh, well, there you go. Glad we got to see what happened on the outside, because there's that dramatic change of direction that I was talking about.
Jordy's not taking any chances in this heat, is he? I mean, he's fallen a couple of times, but he's going for big turns, and he doesn't necessarily need to do his biggest surfing against Soli, because he is that, I think, that little bit stronger in every aspect of his surfing, rails and airs. But on each of his first turn options, he's gone big.
That was really, it was a great first turn. And then there seemed like there was almost a conservative intent nature about the next 2 floaters, that he realised first turn was great. He wanted to complete a ride and get a proper score on the board. And as we see the final floater there, nicely timed.
And this is the danger for Soli Bailey. Jordy already putting up an excellent score without doing his best surfing. And Soli's got to stay on pace with him. Can still get back out in front with a single ride, but needs to throw down some big turns. There's a nice little transition hit. Cut it a little short to get back out in front. Rolling down the line. Climbs the section, gets his board on top for a moment. And
Just
doesn't really get the big finish. Different stories for these two competitors. The rookie Soli Bailey hasn't been past this round yet this season. Here's a replay of his last wave.
Floats out of the top. You see quite a bit of bump on the face of this wave. An earlier wave in a set. And you can see it there even as he mid-faces along, drops to the bottom. This turns better. Lays the back arm, snaps out of the top. Driving again around this section, waiting for something. And a little bit mistimed there as he connected and the lip fell down at him. He realised the same thing was going to happen on the last turn. A long way to travel for something that didn't really connect the whole way along. This was the money turn on that wave. There's the opportunity for the performers to have more of that in it. More attack, more grunt, more risk. And if you fall, so be it. But you've got to be going full metal to beat this guy. This guy's obviously one of the very, very best in the world for a long time.
He's an animal. And he's let go of some decent turns already. Connecting with a good wall here too. And that'll kiss the 4.67 goodbye. The requirement is going to grow, and it might even be that two-wave combo that I was suggesting at the start of this heat. 27.5 minutes to go. Replay at the last.
See that pump? It's a nice little tube ride on the outside. Great to see that into the cutback. Not one of the bigger waves on offer, but that tube's a great way to start. It starts to get tall and steep on the inside here. Gets a nice hit off the lip into another layback snap, and then the closeout floater. Well connected end.
And Soli wants to throw something big on the outside here. And it looks like he's loading up, maybe pacing himself for an air on the inside here. Staying close to the power source, has some speed, goes to the air. Goes for the reverse, and he hangs on to it, still fighting it in the white water. Can't ride out, though, on this occasion. Great to have your company on day 5 of the event window here at the Corona Open J-Bay. It's stop 6 on the championship tour. Always a pivotal point in the season for those chasing requalification and those after a world title. And we have just seen Soli Bailey up once again. And you heard that hooter sound. That's the 23-minute mark. So we've reached halfway in the first heat of the day.
Great performance so far. It looked a little rusty at the start, didn't it? There were a couple of fall-offs that was so uncharacteristic. But here he is again, up and riding.
And pushing hard. He's done that the entire heat.
Oh!
Goes to the air reverse. Doesn't quite ride out of that one.
May as well get some work done.
Well, Jordy Smith on the inside, picking this one off. Big section standing up. Huge alley-oop attempt.
Nobody places them better. Here's Soli, let's see, drives off the bottom. A smaller wave, you would think, with the priority. When you look at the size of that, and there's those stalls to try and get into the power source of the wave. Goes to that big alley-oop, ball wobbles, lands on the lip, maintains his centre of gravity and pulls it off. Some good height. There's that little tweak of the board in the offshore wind. There's better waves out there.
And Jordy Smith found one of them here. So using his priority, taking his time with this one, setting it up on the inside for a barrel ride. Can he punch through this curtain? A lot of water moving there, even though this isn't one of those big round barrels and can kind of break onto the face, not really reaching the flats at times. Let's have a look at the replay.
Drives off the bottom, beautiful carving snap, so clean. Such power and fluidity in the approach. Double hand drags, he saw this section, pulls in that whitewater, cascaded down upon him and shut it down. Didn't get to travel through it as we see this angle. Pulls in, and that part there that just came down and fell on top of him. Something happened while he was under the water. Obviously got very high on that lip, and I suppose that was the idea, to get the high line and then drive down the face and through the curtain.
Celebrating a birthday today. A big shout out to Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike, happy birthday, mate. Soli Bailey up and riding. He needs something now, Ronnie.
He sure does. Chasing a 10-point ride at this stage. Soli loading up. Has to go all out now. We've seen that from him. He's been throwing down some great airs. Had some big attempts that have been unsuccessful, but he's had to really shift things up.
This is Soli's day. This is his moment. But once that 8.5 dropped, things became very difficult, and they have not got any easier since. I feel like on the previous raid of Jean Deroux too, as we see Soli on a little insider, in and out, looking a little confused at this point, doesn't he?
He's going to need something exceptional in the dying stages here.
He's got himself a little wave now, so he's going to try and get something done on this. It's got a clean face, but there's just not enough weight, to get what he needs out of it. The conditions are really, really hard to read when you're on the face.
Wasn't able to sort of put scores on the board that would mount any pressure, and Jordy was able just to lap that one up. An easy win for Jordy.
We're going to take a quick break. When we return, Owen Wright and Juan Daru will assume priority and will welcome two more surfers to the lineup.